Hello, dear students. Welcome back in today's class. Today, we are going to discuss regarding one of the important topic which is there in the syllabus, that is the Green Revolution. Now, when it comes to Green Revolution, in our previous video also we have discussed that during 1960s and during 1970s there were certain unresolved problems like poverty, unemployment, food crisis, monsoon has failed, right? So the unresolved problems which were there, among them also there were certain, like you can say, problem which was related to the agricultural production also, like the food crisis that has taken place. Okay, the situation of the agricultural had went to the worst situation during 1960s. The rate of the growth of the food grain during 1950s 1940s has was at the low rate. Okay, it was the death rate in the Bihar in 1967 was higher than the 34%, right? So the food crisis had many consequences, you can say. So now the first priority of the planners, or you can say, has now to somehow attain the self sufficiency in food, right? Self sufficiency in food, when it comes to, we have seen that our country has also been vulnerably has external pressure and is somehow dependent for the food aid, especially from a developed country like United States. So now the government wants to adopt a new strategy, especially for agriculture, in order to ensure the food sufficiency. So instead of the earlier policy of giving more support to the areas and the resources into those areas which had already had a irrigation, and those farmers who were already well off, now the argument, or now the purpose has been placed that those who already had the capacity could help to increase the production, obviously because they have the resources also, right? And as well as they have the farmers also who has already been well off, right? But now the question arises is that we need to increase the capacity, increase the productivity of those areas, right? And the economical condition of those farmers whose conditions are not so well off as compared to those who had a irrigation, as well as the farmers who have a, at least who have a minimum standard of living of their own. Thus over here what the government said, that the government is now offering a high yielding variety of seeds, okay, fertilizers and the pesticides and the better irrigation at a highly subsidized prices. So over you can say that the green revolution in India is referring to a period when the Indian agriculture was converted into an industrial system due to the adoption of modern methods. Now when it comes to modern methods and the technology, which as the use of the high use of high yielding seeds, right, needs, then you have tractors, irrigation facilities, pesticides and fertilizers. So these are basically, you can say, the green revolution is a process or is a period when there was a change, or not actually change, but there was a conversion of the agricultural period to an industrial system by adopting the high yielding variety of seeds and the fertilizers and the pesticides for the better irrigation. So the government also gave a guarantee that to buy the produce of the farmers at a given price. So this one we can say was the beginning of what we call the green revolution. And this particular revolution has been mainly found by M.S. Swaminathan. Okay, and this is the person, as you can see in this slide, is M.S. Swaminathan, who has founded this particular revolution for the development of the agriculture. Okay, that is the green revolution. Then at the same time, the Green Revolution within India has commenced in 1958, that led to an increase in the food grain production, especially in Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Now, you all are very well aware, and you have read in your geographical chapters also, that when it comes to the states like Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh, they are very well known for the Green Revolution purposes, right? So, the Green Revolution within India that has been commenced in 1958 has led to an increase in the food production, especially in the states of Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh, right? Now, under Green Revolution, when the adoption of the high yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, and the pesticides has been done by the government, there were basically two types of effects that has taken place. First one is the positive effect, second one is your negative effect, right? So let's see one by one what were the positive and the negative effects. First, when it comes to positive effect, it led to an increase in agricultural production, mainly in wheat. Please remember. So Punjab has become the wheat basket of India. The positive effect or the result of Green Revolution has also resulted in the rise of the middle peasant section. Now, middle peasant section were basically the farmers with a medium size holding who have benefited from the changed conditions and has soon become politically influential. Whereas when it comes to the negative impacts or the negative effects of the Green Revolution, it has increased the polarization between the classes and the regions. That is, the gap between the rich and the poor has increased. Few states became prosperous while the others remained poor. That means in those agricultural areas where the effect of the utilization of like high yielding seeds, pesticides, and fertilizer have been used or have been adopted, in those places the advantage has also been more as compared to those states or those areas like Rajasthan and Gujarat, where these kinds of high yielding seeds and the fertilizers could not be able to utilize. Only in those areas or the states, the production, or you can say the increase in the food production, has not taken place at a maximum rate. Okay, so it has basically led to the polarization between the classes and the regions. So there was also a gap between the rich and the poor, as well as there were only the few states who can gain the prosperity, or who can gain the increase in the agricultural production, while the others remained poor. Now, it was not only this, but the uses or the high utilization of the high yielding variety of seeds, pesticides, and the fertilizers had also led to the soil population too much, because there was a use of insecticides and the pesticides, which led to the degeneration of the soils in the long run. Okay, so these were some of the positive and the negative impact of the Green Revolution. Now, next one we have is White Revolution. Now, for White Revolution, you all can also refer your NCERT textbook, that is part 2 book, Politics in India Since Independence, and you can refer page number 61 for the White Revolution, in which the diagram has been provided. Now, when it comes to White Revolution, this is the revolution which has been given to the model of rural development, specially by increasing the production of milk and its product. Now, you all must be familiar with the jingle like utterly butterly delicious. Okay, so this is basically a jingle which has been given, which shows a girl holding a buttered toast. Okay, so this is basically, you can say, is the advertisement you all can see in your television, right? So the question arises that, did you know the that behind this kind of a like milk products or Amul products, okay, lies a successful history of cooperative dairy farming in India. Okay, now when it comes to Amul, we are very well aware with the term Amul, right? So Amul is basically a dairy cooperative at Anand, that is in Gujarat, which has been started by Varghese Khurain, best represents this model. Now, when it comes to Varghese Khurain, okay, this is the person you can see in this slide, is the Varghese Khurain, who is also been referred as by the nickname Milkman of India. And this is the person, that is Varghese Khurain, who played a crucial role in the story of Gujarat Cooperative Milk and Marketing Federation that has launched Amul. So based in Anand, a town is there in Gujarat, right, where the Amul is a dairy cooperative movement which has been joined by about 2.5 million producers in Gujarat. The Amul pattern became a uniquely appropriate model for the rural development. As I've told you, it was not only just for the rural development, but it was also for the poverty alleviation, okay, which has came to be known as the White Revolution. So in the 1970s, basically the rural development program, which was also has been started, and it has been called Operation Flood. Okay, it has been basically referred as Operation Flood that has been started. And this particular Operation Flood organized a cooperatives of milk producers into a nationwide milk grid with the purpose, or with the basic purpose, of increasing the milk production, bringing the producer and the consumer closer by eliminating the middleman, as well as by ensuring that the producers are getting a regular income throughout the year. However, okay, Operation Flood was not just a dairy program, right? It was dairying a path to development, especially so that there can be at least a step for the poverty elevation. So, Operation Flood was not only just a dairy program, it was trying to dairying as a path to development for generating the employments and the income for the rural households and for elevating the poverty at the same time, right? So the number of members of the cooperatives who were there have continued to increase, with the numbers of women, especially women members, have been increased, and a separate women's dairy cooperative society has also been increased simultaneously. So basically, White Revolution was not only just a dairy program that has been initiated, but at the same time, this program, this organization was also there for generating the employment, especially for the rural people in the rural areas. That's why it is referred as a one of the program for the rural development during 1970. Okay, so these are the basic information regarding the Green Revolution and White Revolution. I hope, dear students, that you all will be have been able to understand the topic very well. Okay, so this much for today. In our next class, we are going to discuss regarding the new topics related or has been included, that has been included in your syllabus of class 12. Thank you, students.